have a photograph here that's a very famous image of Florence as an older lady. You can see she's reclining on this sort of couch. She's got a blanket on her knees and she's holding a wad of letters. And that's a really good image to think about Florence as an older person because, unfortunately, while she was in the Scutari, she travelled into the Crimea and she caught something called Crimean fever. Well, you'll never really know exactly what it is, but most people think it's a type of bacterial disease these days. And it was really debilitating. It took her months to recover, and she never really recovered. Because even when she got back to Britain in 1856, she had symptoms. She had a series of really bad attacks in 1856 and 7 that led her to believe she was dying, and her friends thought that as well. And she worked really hard despite all of this from her bed. And this illness kept her in bed or confined to a single room for pretty much the next 30 years until she was in her 60s. But despite that, she worked incredibly hard. She began to show and use maths and statistics. She compiled a 1,000-page report for a commission of the British government, which was encouraged by Queen Victoria, and that report showed that of the 18,000 British soldiers that died in the Crimean War, 16,000 died from preventable diseases from sanitary conditions. She looked at statistics to do with the army in peacetime and found that the British army, despite being full of fit young men, had a higher death rate in peacetime than the rest of the population because of the conditions soldiers lived in. And when the Indian Rebellion happened in 1857, she wrote to everybody she could to compile statistics to look at how the army could be protected from unnecessary deaths due to health. And she actually spent the next 40 years of her life campaigning for better sanitary conditions and better legal and educational conditions for people, the general population of India. And while doing all this, she pioneered a new type of pie chart that is still used today, and she changed people's opinions about maths. She showed people for the first time how understanding maths and statistics can help us understand health.